We live in an era where everyone is obsessed with the new tech, new management styles, new life hacks. But lately, I've been wondering, are we just reinventing the wheel? Or worse, have we actually forgotten how the wheel works?
That is the million-dollar question. We treat anxiety, burnout, and toxic communication like they are modern inventions. But if you look at the ancient texts, specifically the Proverbs attributed to Solomon, you realize human nature hasn't changed a bit in 3,000 years. The scenery is different, sure, but the actors are making the exact same mistakes.
That's actually what I want to dig into today. We're looking at this collection of sayings, chapters 10 through 12 specifically, and what strikes me is how binary it all feels. It's always the wise do this and the foolish do that. It feels a bit rigid, doesn't it?
On the surface, yes, it looks like a simple list of do's and don'ts, but if you peel back the layers, it's not just about rules. It's about consequences and patterns. Take the concept of speech, for example. These texts are obsessed with the mouth.
Oh, absolutely. It feels like every other line is about lips, tongues, or whispering.
Exactly. And the imagery is visceral. It compares the words of a reckless person to the piercing of a sword. Think about that. We've all received an email or a comment that felt physically painful, right? But then it contrasts that with the tongue of the wise, which brings healing. It's arguing that communication isn't neutral. It's either a weapon or a medicine.
That's a powerful way to put it. It reminds me of that part about gossip, how a person who spreads rumors is basically betraying trust. It says a trustworthy spirit keeps a secret. In the age of social media, where oversharing is the currency, keeping a secret almost feels like a revolutionary act.
It is. And there's a fascinating metaphor in there about the chattering fool. The text implies that when words multiply, sin or error is inevitable. It's the idea that the more you talk just to hear your own voice, the closer you get to disaster. Whereas wisdom is often found in restraint.
So silence is actually an asset.
A massive one. But let's pivot to the other big theme here. Work. There's this relentless comparison between the diligent hand and the lazy hand.
Right, the sluggard. I love that word.
It's a great word, and the text doesn't pull punches. It uses this humorous but stinging image. Sending a lazy person to do a job is like vinegar to the teeth or smoke in the eyes.
Laughs. That is uncomfortably accurate. You know that irritation when you're waiting on someone who just won't deliver? It literally makes your eyes water.
Precisely. But here's the nuance. It's not just about working hard. It's about timing. There's this contrast between the son who gathers crops in summer versus the one who sleeps during the harvest. It's about discerning the season. The wise person knows when it's crunch time. If you miss the window of opportunity because you're passive, that brings shame. It's actually a very strategic view of productivity.
It's interesting you mentioned strategy because chapter 11 brings up business ethics, the false balance.
Yes, the false balance is an abomination. In the ancient world, if your weights were rigged, you were stealing from every customer. Today, we might call that hidden fees, misleading data, or fine print. The text argues that integrity, being whole or blameless, is actually a survival strategy. It says that while riches might not help you in the ultimate crisis, integrity provides a stable foundation.
It's the long game versus the short game.
Exactly. The wicked might make a quick profit, deceitful wages as it's called, but it's unstable. It's like building a house on sand. The text says, "The wicked are overthrown and are no more, but the house of the righteous stands." It's suggesting that unethical success has a shelf life. It rots.
That reminds me of the line about how the name of the wicked will rot. That's heavy. It's not just about losing money, it's about your legacy disappearing.
Or worse, being remembered with disdain. But there's one more difficult pill to swallow in these chapters. Feedback.
Oh, the part about correction?
Yes. Whoever loves correction loves knowledge, but he who hates reproof is stupid.
Ouch. Stupid is a strong word.
The original connotation is even rougher. It implies being brutish, like an animal that can't reason. The logic is simple. If you want to grow, you have to know where you're wrong. If you react with anger every time someone points out a blind spot, you've capped your own intelligence. You've decided you already know everything, which is the ultimate form of ignorance.
That is humbling. It really ties everything together, doesn't it? Whether it's how we speak, how we work, or how we do business. It comes down to a choice between building something lasting or chasing something fleeting.
That's the core philosophy. It's the difference between a fountain of life and a stagnant pool. One flows and gives life to others, the other just sits there.
So, for everyone listening, here's the challenge for the week. We're making hundreds of micro choices a day. Are we acting as the diligent hand or the chattering fool? Are we building a reputation that stands firm or one that's going to rot away?
And remember, the righteous path isn't just about being morally superior. It's about alignment with reality. It's the path that actually works in the long run.
A path worth walking. Thanks for diving into this with me.
Pleasure was all mine.
We'll catch you all next time. Keep building.
If you have been blessed by this, please like, subscribe, and share this joy with others. God bless.